Hey, what's up, good people? I'm QC. Welcome to a brand new edition of Talkin and Grubbin. I'm about to grub on this broccoli and pork chops. Got a little blue cheese on the broccoli. This is good. Get a little piece of this pork chop. Definitely good. Let's cut another piece. Oh yeah, that's definitely good. All right, the 2020 National Championship game is set. It's going to be the LSU Tigers versus the defending national champ Clemson Tigers. The Tigers, they're trying to go for the repeat, win their second title within the last, 4 years, while LSU is trying to win their first national championship since 2008. Man, this is going to be a great game. This is a great matchup. You got two of the best quarterback, well, two out of three of the best quarterbacks in college football. You know, LSU, they had a dominating win over the Oklahoma Sooners in their playoff game in the Peach Bowl. Joe Burrow, man, he balled out. The man set a record for 493 yards and 8 touchdowns, 7 passing, as well as 1 rushing. You know, he was this year's Heisman Trophy winner. Plus, he has some hell of a weapons on offense, starting with the wide receiver Justin Jefferson, who had a great game in that Sooners victory as well. Well, in the LSU victory as well. He had 227 yards and 4 touchdowns. So that means this is Joe Burrow's number one weapon on offense. And also, the Tigers, they have a pretty good wide receiving core. They also have the other wide receiver, Jamar Chase, who finished with 1,559 yards, 18 touchdowns while having 75 receptions. Then also, the running back core, it's more running back by committee. The running backs, John Emery Jr. and Tyron Davis Price, they combined for 488 rushing yards and 10 touchdowns combined during the regular season. So LSU is a very pass-heavy offense, you know. But Joe Burrow, not only he can make it happen with his arm, but he can make it happen with his legs as well, as he had a good amount of rushing yards in that playoff win as well. And also, he had some big rushing yards against Alabama on the road. Now, LSU may not be known for their defense, but they do have some talent on defense, and they can definitely get after the quarterback and force some turnovers. Starting with the defensive end, Rashard Lawrence. He finished with 10 tackles, 2.5 sacks. Also, the cornerback, Kristen Fulton, he had 22 tackles and 1 interception. Then don't forget the strong safety, Grant Delpit, who had 33 tackles, 2 interceptions, and 7 passes deflected. Also, the other free safety, Jacoby Stevens, had 48 tackles and 3 picks during the regular season. Now, as I just said, LSU may not be known for their defense, but this is a very talented defense. You know, they were very aggressive against Oklahoma in their playoff game. You know, they got after Jalen Hurts early and often. You know, they're very athletic. They're very aggressive. You know, they're very ferocious and very nasty. they basically compromise what an SEC defense is all about. So even though LSU may be talented, very talented offensively, they can also definitely bring the heat defensively. Now on the flip side, the defending national champs, they survived the battle with the Ohio State Buckeyes in their playoff game in the Fiesta Bowl. Trevor Lawrence, he stepped up. He showed that championship form as he finished with 259 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions. But he also had 100 plus rushing yards as well in that victory. And he had 1 rushing touchdown as well. So you definitely know what Trevor Lawrence is coming with. Also, Travis Etienne, he had a nice game as well. Matter of fact, he had a big game as he had 98 touchdowns and 2 touchdowns, including the go-ahead touchdown. During the regular season, he had over 1,500 yards, 18 touchdowns, while having 102 carries. So Eli, he's just not a threat with his legs. He's also a threat with his hands as well, because he's one hell of a receiver. And also, their other running back, T. Higgins, is a threat well on both sides with his legs and his hands. He finished with 1,115 yards, 13 touchdowns, while having 56 receptions. Excuse me. Also, the other wide receiver, Lynn J. Dixon, had 636 yards and 6 touchdowns. He could definitely be a wild card for the Tigers here in this national championship. And the Tigers, they're definitely aggressive defensively. They get after the quarterback. They love applying the pressure. They bring the heat. They're very fast, quick, and athletic, just like this LSU defense is. Starting with Baton Spector, he could definitely bring it. Also, Isaiah Simmons, he had 1 sack in the playoff win for the Tigers. Also, Nolan Turner, he had 1 sack as well. And this team is just ferocious on defense. Starting with Simmons, the linebacker, he finished with 61 tackles and 3 picks during the regular season. Also, James Skalowski had had 41 tackles as well as 3.5 sacks. The strong safety Kevon Wallace finished with 41 tackles, 10 pass deflections, and 2 picks during the 2019 campaign. Also, Tanner Muse, the free safety, finished with 34 tackles, 4 interceptions, and the cornerback Deion Kendrick had 25 tackles, 2 picks, and 3 forced fumbles. No, 3 passes deflected. During the five passes deflected during the regular season. My mistake. So this Clemson defense is very aggressive. They get after it. They get to the quarterback. I mean, come on. They forced Justin Fields, who was also a Heisman Trophy candidate, to have 2 picks in their playoff game. So they can get after the quarterback. They see the field very well defensively. It's like they're just Johnny on the spot when it comes to that football. They have a real nose for the ball. This defense has a lot of pass deflections. They break up passes. Also, they can shut down the run as well. Even though J.K. Dobbins had over 100 yards in that game, it's like he had to work for those yards. It's like they just didn't come easy. So this defense is very for real. If LSU messes around, their high potent offense can definitely be shut down by this aggressive ball hawking defense. Now, here's my keys to the game for both teams. For LSU, they have to be very quick, fast, and aggressive on offense. They can't take any chances. Also, Joe Burrow has to get rid of the ball quickly because, like I said, this Clemson defense is our ball hawks, especially that secondary. Secondary is nothing but ball hawks. So Burrow has to get rid of the ball quickly. Also, they definitely have to get the running game involved a little bit more. That's going to definitely be a factor in this game. They cannot. I mean, they're a pass first team, but they cannot neglect the run because if they do, then that's too much pressure on Joe Burrow. For him to bear from this experienced Clemson team. Now, on the defensive side, LSU has to get pressure on Trevor Lawrence. They have to get a few sacks. Also, they have to force a few turnovers. In my opinion, if Ohio State could at least force one or two turnovers on Trevor Lawrence, they could have won. Well, one was a turnover, but unfortunately, it was reversed by the refs. But that's another discussion for another time. But if they can get Trevor Lawrence to make some mistakes, then that would definitely go a long way for the LSU Tigers. Now on the flip side for Clemson, they have to be very quick, aggressive on offense early on in this game. They have to establish Trevor Lawrence early, not just in the passing game, but in the running game as well. Also, they have to establish E-line as well as, making Higgins a factor as well. Excuse me. And also, Trevor Lawrence has to play mistake-free football. He cannot have any turnovers in this game. Because if he has turnovers against LSU, that offense will definitely make Trevor Lawrence and the Tigers pay. The Clemson Tigers, that is, excuse me. Now on the flip side, on defense, they have to get heavy pressure on Joe Burrow. They have to get to him early and often. Make sure you keep him in the pocket for the most part, even though he's a great passer, but he can still hurt you with his legs just like Trevor Lawrence can. So you definitely don't want Joe Burrow to be, versatile in this game. Because if he's versatile in this game, then it could be a long night for Clemson here in New Orleans because it's practically a home field advantage anyway since they're going to be playing in the Superdome in New Orleans. So you also got to definitely take that LSU crowd out of the game. You cannot have them be a factor because if they become a factor, I think that would definitely motivate, the Tigers being at home. So they definitely have to come out aggressive early and often. They have to take that LSU crowd out of it. Also, the Clemson secondary has to step up big. They have to basically contain Justin Jefferson. Make him almost a non-factor. I mean, come on, this man had 200 plus yards in the Peach Bowl. So you definitely don't want him to have any confidence. You cannot give him any life. If you can force Burrow to make some mistakes, get some turnovers, that definitely bodes well for Dabo Swinney, Trevor Lawrence, and the Clemson Tigers. All right, now you want to know who I got walking away with this year's national championship trophy. Who will walk out of New Orleans holding that trophy? Now, this is going to be a competitive game, a highly contested game. This is going to be a battle. You have both teams are equally talented on both sides of the ball. You got 2 out of 3 of the best college football quarterbacks playing in this game. You have you have a great defense in Clemson. You also have a pretty good defense in LSU. You have an LSU team who's hungry, who wants to prove to everybody that they're for real and they're not a fluke. While you have, Clemson on the other side who's battle tested, experienced, and they want to establish themselves as a college football dynasty. So this is going to be a very close game. I think it's going to come down to the wire. It's definitely going to come down to the final minutes. And, I would definitely trust Clemson with their, with them being battle tested and experienced. I mean, they just survived a battle with Ohio State who gave them everything that they had in their arsenal. So I'm going to definitely take Clemson in a very close game. So anyways, that's my take. What's yours? Who do you think will be this year's national champion? Leave it in the comment section below. Also, make sure you like, comment, and share this video on social media. I want to thank all my loyal subscribers for supporting me. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Don't make it your last. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you click the bell icon. And also click all so you don't miss any new videos from me. Till next time, y'all have a good one. Love y'all to life. QC out. And I'm about to finish the rest of this dinner here. Hey, what's up, good people? It's QC once again. Now that you saw the video, subscribe to the channel. When you do, click on the bell icon so that way you won't miss any new videos from me and be mad. Let your family and friends miss those videos and let them be mad. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Like me on Facebook. Thanks for watching.